Well, hello everyone. I'm Dr. Stock and this video is for entertainment purposes only. Today we're taking a look at the crypto market since it decided to take another dump on us. Holy cow. How much more can we take of this? I mean, if you look at any of the news regarding recent near-term events, if you take on a myopic point of view, man, is it scary. Instead, if we take on a longer point of view, maybe it's not as scary as we would expect. I'm going to take a look at those things across some of my favorite cryptos, and I hope that you come along on this ride with me. And, for right now, let's just get ready to rock. Alright, welcome back. First, what I'd like you to do is cover up your eyes, maybe like this, and then take one of your hands and hit the like button, and then find that subscribe button. And if you can, really squint your eyes hard, find that notification bell and get it. So that way you can see anytime that my videos come out. Thank you guys for that form of support. If you want to support my channel in further ways, there's that link to the Patreon. You can go over there, check out what I've got going on over there. Weekly newsletter, weekly watch list of stocks, my portfolios, including my new crypto portfolio that I put over there. I started on this last dip that we had, so it's a tiny guy for right now, but it is growing quickly and I expect it to grow very quickly over time. So I'm pretty excited about that one. I got a great group of investors over there who are very passionate about finance and about improving their status in life. And they're also very kind and wonderful people. So if you fit that description, you want to check it out, that link for the Patreon is down in the description. Also, Moomoo, Webull, if you haven't signed up for those trading platforms, you can. By signing up, depositing your money, you get free stocks thrown back at you. I get free stocks through the referral. Just another way that you can support it. Last thing, hang around to the end and we will get right out of the cryptos. Alright, so take a look at what we have going on here. We have CoinMarketCap up again, one of our friends for just quickly viewing how the prices are going, ranked by market cap. So we have Bitcoin up here. This thing was over $52,000 recently, and now it's down to $44,000. Woof. Ethereum was up over $4,000. Now it's down closer to $3,000. Woof. And then Cardano went up over $3. Now it's down to $239. Let's go to some of my other ones. Let me see. Solana. Solana was over 200. Now it's down to about 158. As a matter of fact, I just dollar cost averaged just a tiny bit into it yesterday just to keep on adding slowly over time to that crypto portfolio of mine, and then it decided to take another price drop. What the heck, Solana? It could have waited for me, or it could have beat me to the punch and actually dropped a little bit ahead of time, so I got in at a better cost. My initial position was $70, and then this last time, I don't remember exactly, 160 something I think is what I got in at. Polkadot, also awesome. This one's up over 4% in the last 24 hours. That's one of the rare ones we have in the tops here. Our friend, the little Shiba Inu, the little doggy that we got right here, Dogecoin, coming in, dropping another almost 5% that we have down to 23 cents. If you guys haven't seen the Voyager digital commercial with Rob Gronkowski and the little pup, you should check it out. It's even if you don't care about Voyager digital, and even if Dogecoin isn't your thing, still kind of a cute commercial. I love dogs. So, maybe you love dogs too. I wish that dogs fit my lifestyle. Unfortunately, I'm just in and out of the house too much, and I would never be able to take it out. Poor thing would be dancing before I could take it out to go to the bathroom. Let's move on from there. Chainlink, #1 Oracle in the crypto space, bringing real-world data into crypto, down at $26 per token right now. And where's my friend Polygon? All the way down here, $1.24. is what we're down to, dropping another 8%. So we have a lot of drops in the crypto market right now, especially in the last 24 hours, which are these numbers that I'm looking at. You can see over the past week, I'll scroll back up through those. So Polygon down 27%. Where's my friend Chainlink down 25%. And Doji down 26%. Solana is actually up 10%. But then again, this is a runner. This is one that kept on going. So it's still up a little bit. I'd like it to actually drop a little bit more. If it went down to 125 before it decided to jump back up, I would be super excited for that one. Let's move on from there. Cardano down about 17, Ethereum 18, and then Bitcoin down about 14%. So we'll take a look at some of these. I got some of these ready for you to go. So here's Bitcoin. Uh-oh, the chart jumped on me. That wasn't nice. Let's switch that around again. Alright, so here we're looking at the Bitcoin chart, and you can see, man, it looks like it's having a rough time. And this is what I mean by myopic point of view. If you're looking at things in the near term, if you're a long-term investor, some of the short-term volatility is absolutely irrelevant to where we're at right now. It gives dollar cost averaging opportunities where you come in at a cheaper cost than if you were to invest in these while it's at the top. If you are looking for short-term gains and you bought above 52,000, and you know, well, then you're a bag holder at this point in time. You didn't get those short-term gains unless maybe you took a short position, in which case, you know, then maybe. However, look at this thing. We're going to zoom out for a while here on Bitcoin, and look at the sort of run that we're on. As a matter of fact, let me snag a line here, and we'll put one right here up to right there. And if we subtract out some of that volatility that we've seen, some of this stuff where it ran up really fast, really quickly back in May, drop back down here, we're still on a very steady rise. Even if we went across the bottoms and looked at the low price of this thing, look at the sort of trajectory that we're on for Bitcoin. And this is just looking at the chart. Don't forget that we have ETFs for Bitcoin on the way. We have some that are expected before the wintertime comes. It's sometimes, some people are saying maybe even by the time we're within the winter time, we should see those Bitcoin ETFs taking place. And that should be some major buying for Bitcoin. We have lots of institutional adoption. We have all sorts of companies and governments talking crypto, and Bitcoin is right at the center of it all, being #1 by market cap, the original, and also still being seen somewhat as the store of value crypto that we have, or the gold standard for crypto. So this is one to definitely check out. And when you take a longer view on this, yeah, it doesn't look pretty when we go across the bottoms like this, but we still have a very positive slope here. We still have a very bullish look to Bitcoin. So let's go to Ethereum and see if we get a similar story. So here's Ethereum's price. Looks a lot like Bitcoin's chart did. And when we zoom out, there we go, zoom way out, there we are. In my opinion, we get an even smoother look for Ethereum. And Ethereum, I think, is one that's going to perform much better overall than Bitcoin over the long term. I'm going to go right through the middle of this stuff, just so you can see, if we subtract out the really whippy high that we have here and the really dippy low that we have down here and go right across the middle, this is about that average. And I mean, look at that slow, steady climb that we have. Honestly, this price will be coming in at like 34 or 3,200. I'm going to call it about right. As a matter of fact, here, let's even drop this down. If CoinMarketCap will let me, we'll drop that down to going across the lows, and we'll snag another. There we go. Drop that across the highs. As a matter of fact, we could probably move that up a little. We'll take the average of the different high prices that we have for these minor highs that are in between, and we have somewhat of a channel going on here, but it's upward. Like we have the same slope for both of these, and we're still taking that steady upward climb. So maybe it will happen all in one leap or bound as we'd expect, but look what happened last time. It took a big leap in order to do that. It came crashing back down, overcorrected, lots of FUD going on, China kicking out the Bitcoin miners, and yeah, I know that it was for Bitcoin, but still it affected all of crypto. Ethereum was absolutely not immune to that. And so right now, we have just a tiny sell-off. I know it's a big sell-off, locally speaking, but in the overall view of Ethereum, we still have massive amounts of development. We still have tons, billions of dollars of total value locked in Ethereum, the DeFi space, the NFT space. There's all sorts of drivers that we have, not to mention crypto gaming that we have for Ethereum. There's just so much going on in the background for Ethereum that if all you watch is the prices and you forget about the development that's there and the evolution that's there for when we have the merge coming up between the mainnet right now and the beacon chain that's taking place as we move towards proof of stake, like, we can't forget that progress is being made, that there's huge amounts of institutional adoption going here, lots of retail excitement going into it, so we can expect these sort of sell-offs. Honestly, if we zoom in a little bit more, I'd be surprised if we break that $3,000 mark. And as a matter of fact, just watch this bottom trend line that we have here. I'd be surprised to break out of that anytime soon. So right now, if we go over the next day's candle, that puts us at about 3,100. If we're going to continue on this little channel that's here, or, you know, possibly we get another dip like what you see here, in which case I get in a little bit cheaper for future positions for Ethereum than I thought I would. We'll take a look at Cardano. Cardano, I believe that we have the Alonso hard fork live as of yesterday, and we'll zoom out on this one. We'll zoom way out. This one doesn't have that same history that Ethereum does. It doesn't have that same history that my goodness, doesn't have this Bitcoin's history, it doesn't have Ethereum's history. It's much more recent, so I think it's going to be much more subject to volatility. We really need to see how the Alonso hard fork plays out with the smart contracts that we have for Cardano from here on out. What sort of adoption do we have? What sort of a development do we have? And I do need to make a correction about Cardano. It already had NFTs. It just didn't have ones that could use smart contracts. Now that we have smart contracts, we can have NFTs that use those smart contracts. And for me, that's much bigger than NFTs without. So NFT with a smart contract means that people can possibly, for me, I think of like music artists and visual artists, people who have ownership to whatever that content is, original ownership, and then sell it off, continuing to make royalties on that over time, I think is one of those big use cases for NFTs that could have some serious staying power, even if it's not these really lofty, 7-digit NFT prices that we see for some of the artwork that's going around right now. Over to Solana. Solana has, well, we can look at Solana. I'll zoom way out on Solana. This one does not have that same look. I mean, if you want to talk about going parabolic, this right here for Solana, this has been incredible. And I believe that it's currently selling off with a lot of the rest of the crypto market. Remember, we can come ripping right back down. I am putting in smaller positions as it does keep going downward, but there is a lot of adoption. There's a lot of attention. There's a lot of development going on with Solana, and I think that it's going to continue to accelerate the curve until it comes more in line with what we see with the likes of Ethereum and Cardano, and I think that it just isn't quite there yet. However, I think that that those prices are on the way, and I'm thinking 250 is definitely within reach, which would be significantly up from what it is now, like 60% up from where we're at right now, to take us up to that $250 per SOL token mark for Solana. We just got to wait for whatever this time is for it to come down. As a matter of fact, let me zoom in a little bit here. All right, so if you look at Solana's recent price action, let me zoom in. This little tiny peak that we have back here around 150, and that bottom candle that we have right there around 150, to me that's starting to look a little bit like where we find buyers coming in, is around that $150 mark, and we're not too far above 150 right now, about 4 or 5%, I would say, actually closer to 5%, just above that, I think, before we tag that support. And if we watch that base of support fill out over time, that strengthens the support, and then we have a launching point to go from for that next run up for Solana, which I think is only a matter of time. Taking a look at Chainlink, we should recognize this part of the chart because that's been the story for a lot of the cryptos recently. And if we zoom out on Chainlink, we'll zoom way out. This one looks a lot like Ethereum's chart does. Has a little bit of a hump right here that Solana didn't have. However, I could go back here, grab the diagonal, and go right through the middle of those. This video is getting a little bit long, so I want to make sure I keep this reasonable time for everyone. So when you look at that diagonal, slow, steady climb, I'd say that our prices are about right for these times where we experience less volatility. When the Chainlink actually settles a little bit, you can see the prices that we settle on, and we still have a very healthy positive slope, which in my opinion is very rapid gains, even if it's not this quick up climb that you saw before. But remember, after that climb upward, when it ramped up so fast, that gave us a lot. When selling pressure finally did come and Black Swan event did come, then that's something that totally just wrecked everything. We took a really hard fall. So that excitement, the more excited you feel when negative news comes, it can be that much more emotionally impactful. And we know that emotions play a big part in the stock market and with the crypto market. So those are things to keep in mind. So this little peak that we had back here isn't going to have the same impact as that big peak that we saw before when Chainlink went up over $52 per link token. So let me summarize. The drop-off that we see in the crypto markets is not huge, relatively speaking, to what we saw back in May. I think that it is something that will settle. Black Swan events aside, because I don't know what's going to happen next there. Nobody does, and that's why they're called Black Swan events. But we should get some settling. So we'll find with Bitcoin, where does that settling happen? Is it 44,000, 42,000, 40,000? I would be really surprised, super surprised, if it's under 40,000 without any sort of major event causing that to happen. Even so, I think it's a matter of time before it just starts moving upward again anyhow, and it continues its march on the bull run to new highs. Ethereum, very much the same thing, except for we just need to adjust the prices. So right now it's about $3,200 per Ether token. Dropping below 3,000, I would find very, very surprising. If we did, it would be just a little bit of a tag for a little bit of time, and I think we would find significant buying pressure under 3,000 for the Ether token. Cardano, the jury's out for where that one pulls back. Maybe to 225 would be where we see that sort of pullback. Really, we want to watch the DeFi NFT development play out. We want to see who the supporters are. We want to know for the concurrency issue that they're currently experiencing. That was hard to say. The concurrency issue that they're currently experiencing, we want to see how that gets addressed, how that gets resolved, so that way we can make sure that the smart contracts are very smooth and fluid, and that the currency itself works, that the blockchain for Cardano itself works smoothly and allows for vast amounts of flexibility, because that's also going to help to drive adoption along with those high transaction per second rates. So let's move on to Solana. Solana being the absolute king right now of transactions per second, we'll say, with its proof of history and the excitement that's there, and a lot of attention that it's getting and the development that it's getting. So we have DeFi, we have NFTs, and we have blockchain gaming, all that stuff going on with Solana, and people are super excited about it, and I don't think that it's done running yet. So it had an aggressive vesting schedule, which has already sort of happened. And so we don't have to worry about like massive amounts of dilution from pools that are just holding on to Solana or anything like that. I think that we'll have little bits here and there, and outside of the normal FUD and that we have with crypto in general, and possibly stuff that's specific to Solana, I think that it's going to perform beautifully over time, and I think that it's going to return multiples to us over time as well. And then finally, Chainlink, still being the #1 oracle in the crypto space, has a very smooth upward trajectory when we take out some of the volatility for it, and I think that it's one that's also going to continue upwards. This is not an exhaustive list. Polygon's not in here, Polkadot's not in here, and lots of other incredible ones. Algorand is there. Audius, I think, is one that has some serious promise to it. So there's a lot that I'm bullish on, and there's a lot to talk about, just some that doesn't fit within the scope of this video. So thank you guys for coming along. I really appreciate it. If you haven't hit the like button, like I said, cover up those eyes and hit it, and then find the subscribe button, and then that teeny tiny notification bell, ding! Go ahead and have a seat, so you can see anytime that my videos come out. Also, my Patreon, if you're passionate, enthusiastic, and you just like a good community of people to help support your way through this financial journey that we're all on, come over and visit us. We'd absolutely love to have you over there, so hopefully you end up staying for a while. And then Moo, Weeble, also check those referral links out, get your free stocks. Thank you for any support that you show, even if it's just watching this video all the way through. I really appreciate it. It's been incredible being on here and communicating with people in the Discord through the Patreon, or whether it's in the comments on YouTube. I try to get to as many of those as I can. Regardless, it's been fun, it's been great, and I look forward to making the next video. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm Dr. Stock. Thanks for rocking with me, and go get that money.